Make sure your dog has all its shots and they're up to date, particularly the distemper. That's the number one thing. Number two, make sure, check the area where you're going and find out if there are like coyotes, like in Arizona, scorpions, snakes. Know about the area and what you need to do to protect your dog. Never let your dog out of your sight. Even some people at courtside who have walked their dogs have had their dogs snatched from the leash by a coyote while they're walking them. I never allow my dog outside, for goodness sakes, in the early dawn or late at night. My dog stays inside. And when she is outside in broad daylight, I'm always checking my area. Always. I always have a leash. It's just scary. Now, I camp with others, so that gives me a little bit of security, but your dog is never safe, particularly here in Arizona, coyotes. You must be careful of what's happening around you and be very alert. I do not allow other people's dogs to come into my campsite off leash and walk through my campsite. It's dangerous for my dog. I don't know what that dog's going to do. There are so many rules, I can't even list all of them. Common sense tells you don't leave your dog alone out by herself in an area that possibly has coyotes or bears or whatever. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's talk about having an animal in your van. You see my little girl? She's my best friend. She's my companion. She's safety too. She lets you know when someone's out there. So let's talk about what we do when we live in a van. Thank you, honey. That was a nice kiss. Thank you so very much. I will tell you something. For 2 months now, well, no, 3, I guess, I've been helping my friend watch her dogs on Saturdays and Sundays. Every size. Don't care how big they are, how little they are. I was shocked to see how much anxiety these animals have when their owners leave. Now, yes, they do settle down and they do love my Trish, but the anxiety goes on a long time after their owner leaves. Some, not all, but they miss their owners so much. They love and are attached to their owners so much. These are not people in vans. These are not people in vehicles. These are people in apartments and houses and condos. Their dogs have as much anxiety as she does if I leave her in the van for even 2 minutes. You'd think I'd been gone for days. Oh, not true. I see what you're looking at. Yeah, I do. So, we are in front of an air conditioner, and let me explain some of the things I have done to make my animal feel secure and enjoyable. I want her life to be enjoyable and good for her. I've created plenty of room, and I'm going to show you a picture in just a minute. In fact, I'll show it to you right now. At the bottom left of the screen, you can barely see it's a box of toys for her. That's the hallway to the front. There's lots and lots of room for her to run and fetch that and bring it back to the bed. That's her exercise. As you can see, she has an open path big enough for her to run from the front to the back. On the left-hand side is a box of toys. She can have any toy she wants to play with. And yes, she gets chews and she gets treats, and she has dried food 24/7, water 24/7. Those are 2 things I do all the time. I want to keep her in the frame. Hi, sweetie. What you doing, Mom? What you doing, Mom? Huh? Are we doing a film together? We are we? You want to be on film? Marley doesn't mind. So the first thing, again, once I got an animal, I made enough room for that animal to run. And her exercise is running back and forth as I'm throwing toys. She's going and getting them and jumping on the bed. And the bed is not short, and she's a little dog. So it gives her lots and lots of exercise. I walk her, I don't walk her. You know, I have difficulty walking. I take her to parks. I take her to dog parks. I have inside a rack, and on it is attached a retractable leash. If it's early morning, I put her on that leash. I let her go out. She tinkles. She does not poo. She poos once a day. That's all she does. That is how she's been trained herself, not me. I have never seen her do it more than once a day. And then she tinkles. So I can control her poo, and I can pick it up right after she's done it. Now at dog parks, there's all kinds of trash cans where you can put the poo. Even at Courtside, when you go there, there's a dog park where you can run your animal and you can put her poo in the trash can. You don't necessarily have to take it with you. It depends on where you're at. So that's pretty easy. It depends on where you're at. When I'm in the city, dog parks, certain roads and streets where she can just go tinkle in the grass and come right back in because she's on her leash. So inside the city, I take her off the leash only when she's at the park. When I'm in Courtside, leash, no leash. Some are long, some are retractable, some are attached to the back, really long that she can run around with. When I am out in the wilderness at 5 o'clock, pretty much at 5 o'clock, between 5 and 6, I always go in my van. I shut the door. We do not go out again. Not all night. When we are there, she has no problems. Until daylight, when I will go out with her and let her tinkle. And I stand there. She knows. I always tell her, go potty. And she goes to potties and she comes right back. And I'm standing right there with her. So you have to remember there's different dangers in different places. Always carry your pickup bags. Wherever you're at, you're not supposed to leave a trace. That means even the chews she dumps out there, I pick those up. Before I leave camp, I clean my camp. I pick up anything I think might not belong there that maybe she has left. So that's an old woman's thing. I'm not sure. I will tell you this. Marley's with me 24/7. She's a very, very happy dog until I leave her sight. And she's very unhappy when I'm not around. So the more time you spend with your dog, the better off you are. In a vehicle, you spend the most time with your animal. It's not about exercise for them. It's just having you there, loving on them, being with them, securing how they feel. And she is a rescue, so she has been left behind in a backyard, tied up. They moved out of the house and left their 2 dogs. I've said that many times. Tied up with no food and no water. She never wants to be left behind again. And she's not. I normally do not go into a store. I cannot take Marley. If Marley can't go in, I don't go in. I don't go into restaurants and eat unless the weather is really okay. And, you know, that's kind of iffy sometimes. And I have to put up everything to protect her from becoming anxious seeing people around, because she's only looking for me. So if I leave her in here to go into a restaurant, and I've done it a couple times in Courtside, it's been the winter, it's been cool weather, I leave her in here. I protect her by putting everything up so she can't see it. She knows when I put everything up, it's time to come to bed. So I put everything up and bring her back here. If it's even warm, a little bit warm, I can hook up the air conditioner to the fans. I have fans winter and summer. I always run fans 24/7 in my van, even when it's cold. I like air circulation. She gets up on bed and she waits for me. And this is the safest place for her. This is where she feels safe and she wants to be. It's not that difficult, but it does really tie you down. You can never forget. You can't leave your animal in a vehicle. Can't do it for long periods. You have to watch the temperature. Even in the temperature, even with my air conditioner on, I won't leave her. It makes me so nervous. I just can't hardly do it because I know what she goes through. And you need to understand that your animal is being anxious, whether you're a van dweller or not. But a van makes them much happier. They love being with you. They love traveling with you. Again, you have to be careful where you stop. You have to be. I can't take her into the truck stops. I just run in and run out. 5 minutes max, maybe 7 or 8. Not very often. I have to fill up gas. She can't go with me. So I have to go pay for it. I have to fill it up, and she can't come in. It's one thing. So that's only on the road. But once I get to a campsite, as long as I have a leash of some kind attached to the van, she can run around. She can be outside. Now, she has buddies. When we go to courtside, she has buddies that she plays with. I take her every day to a dog park. There's 2 different ones, and I'll take her to one or the other. So if one of her buddies is there, she can play, get tons of exercise. Otherwise, if I take her to a park and I'm sitting down on the bench, number one, you can't throw anything. Marley doesn't fetch, except her soft toys. She doesn't fetch balls. She doesn't fetch anything but her soft toys. So she's a little bit different. But you can go out and stand there. I'm 78. I'm not physically capable of doing a lot of walking and moving without a scooter or a walker. And that doesn't give her that much exercise because I can't walk, even with the walker, long distances. It's very hard to do. So it's complicated. It's easy, but it's not. It's a big responsibility, and you have to consider your dog everywhere you go. You can't just pretend she's not there, because they are there. They have anxiety. They're frightened. She has no problem. She's never been car sick. She loves being in the van. Loves it. Gets right in. Yeah, she loves the van, and she thinks anybody's van is her van. If I go to visit a friend who's living in it, she goes right in. She has no problem going into any vehicle and making herself at home. She loves it. So the traveling does not bother her, but it may bother your dog. So you do need to consider that. And take them on trips. Short trips, or maybe long trips. 2.5 hours here, or an hour there. Take them out to a lake. Set something up that is on a leash, a retractable leash, that you can let them out the door safely. When they're not in traffic, not in, if you're out in the park or something, they can stay on the leash and just smell and wander, because they love to smell. It's not necessarily the walk as it is the smell on the walk. So if you can do that, I think you'll have a very content dog. And Marley is very content. She doesn't beg to go outside. She's excited when she gets to go out, but I have to go out with her. She doesn't like to go outside the van without me, unless she's got a buddy. There's an exception to everything, even with dogs. I honestly don't know if this has helped anybody at all. Someone did ask me to talk about it. I'm mainly talking about me and Marley. Marley is an exceptionally sweet, loving dog. She's so easygoing and always, always happy. And for a positive person, this is the best kind of animal I could have. So please, if you liked this video, please share. And I thank you for subscribing and liking. And I give you my love. I'll see you next time.